And gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Operation Mega Factory. We're of course playing Factorio and my name is Over Potato. Let's get down to business. In the last episode we made slow progress with our sorting system. What I did off camera is I just extended these two lines up, and now we're going to have a wee think about how we are going to extract the resources that we need from this belt. So at the moment there is capacity for, well, what I should say is that these sorting machines will take three types of ore, so stone, copper, and iron ore. Not stone ore, just normal stone. And stick it into this chest to buffer it for a little bit. Then it will go onto this belt, and over here we're going to have a similar sort of system, but for each of these different components, right? So the first stop of the day is going to be getting this copper offline, I think. Okay, we're going to need way more smart inserters, and we do not have the basic circuit boards that we need. Great. I'll take that belt, thank you. Do we have a car on us? Yeah, we totally have a car on us. Now, I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be enough fuel to get us anywhere that actually matters. Looks like we might be cutting it a little bit close, but you know what? Hey ho, it's okay. Let's get out. Let's try and get some circuit boards. Good thing we've got them buffered up in here. We'll take 400. You're going a little bit slowly. You okay for power? Yeah, you're just an old inserter. That's fine. All right, great. Okay, we should be able to make a lot of these smart inserters now, which is lovely. In fact, how many do we have in the system? We've got 30 smart inserters in the system. Alright, I'll take them all. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've worked out that 10 is sort of the golden ratio, so to speak, for getting all of the resources that we want to off the belt. So I'm not entirely sure if 10 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Alright. Let's get some more fast transport belts. Okay, bring that up there. Bring that up there. This is gonna be, it's gonna be difficult to do, alright? Because this is gonna take all of the iron. Okay, I need you to take all of the iron ore. Okay. Great. Are we in construction range right now? Are we in construction range right now? We are in construction range, which is great. Because how many inserters are in there? 8 inserters are in there. Okay, you know what? I'll just place these manually. Screw it. It doesn't really matter. Alright, is that 10? Looks like 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Alright, copper. You guys are all gonna be copper. Which is good. So, these are all the wrong way around. All the wrong way around. What the heck was I even playing at? Okay, that's them all the right way around now. Great. So, copper, and now we're just going to need stone. Hopefully we're going to have enough space. Goodness sake, I hope we do. I hope we do. Might be slightly problematic, actually. Because this is only 2 resources. We need to have 50 smart inserters all taking off the belt. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to have space for 50 smart inserters all the way up here. Basically, we'll need to fit all of these things in. And 2 more. We'll need to fit 2 more in there. Yeah, that's clearly not going to work. Unfortunately. So we're going to have to think of something else. And thankfully, I do actually have something in mind. Alright. To ensure that we are a little bit more conservative in our use of space, what if we put these smart inserters on the other side? Now, that of course presents a problem because we're going to have smart inserters taking off both sides. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with, but I don't think that should be a problem. I don't think that should be a problem. Well, actually, it might be a problem. It might very well be a problem. What can we do? What can we do? I don't know. I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm not entirely sure. Do we have a substation that we can place down? I would kind of like a substation right now. We do. Got 3. Great. Okay. Let's connect it up. Okay, we're gonna have to use a medium electric pole. That's fine. I guess we sort of go for a similar system up here. I mean, let's just think about copper right now. In fact, we're probably better off buffering it. Alright, there we go. Buffer the copper ore, because why not? Okay. And then do the old smart inserter line. This is a very, very rough system. I want to put that out there. It's going to end up being permanent, but at the moment, it's very rough. It's very rough. It's just a way for us to determine what we want to use and what we need to change and whatnot. But this isn't going to work either. This is going to encroach upon this territory here, which is problematic to say the least. I don't know. Can we build smart close inserters? Fast close inserters. Yeah, we can. Let's build those. Alright, and replace these. Okay, there we go. Now, could we just theoretically do that on one belt? Would that work? I don't know if that would. That would cut down on space that we could use. But it's still a little bit dodgy, I think. I don't know. I feel we need sort of a standardized process. We need a process that works everywhere. I don't know. I'm really at a loss to think about what will actually work. 1, 2. Alright, here's the plan. Here's the plan. Let's take a blueprint of this just in case we actually need it. I'll build 2 blueprints just because why the hell not. Let's take that. Let's put it... Well, I suppose this will work actually. Yeah, this will work just fine. Place that just there. What do you need? You need that. You need those materials. Well, we can take that apart for you. And once we've taken that apart, you should have all of the materials that you need. Fantastic. Alright. This should mean that we can get the materials that we want to get out of here. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. I'm just sort of mentally preparing this. But obviously mental preparation does not come close to actual experimenting and preparing and whatnot. Alright, that can go there. Okay. What I'm thinking is that we can remove this and put it up at the other end. Now, if we do this, wherever the heck my smart inserter pile is, there we go. Okay, beautiful. This will allow us to effectively... Okay, that there, and that there. This will allow us to utilize the maximum amount of space possible. So basically, yeah, basically this should totally work. This should absolutely totally work. So this will go under here like this. Let's get a piece of fast underground belt. We need more iron. I should have 200 iron on me at all times, and I don't. Robots are failing in a big way. Alright. Underground belt. Build me some underground belt so I can show off my fantastically beautiful ideas. Also, where the heck are these fast inserters? We need 10 fast inserters. Alright, I'll put 10 fast inserters into your chest if that makes you feel any better. If I had any. I do have some. I'll put 21 in there. There you go. Have a field day. Happy days. Alright. You got all the materials you need? You do. Great. Okay, that works. That should work. Happy days. Alright, so this is now going to come up here. and we'll just extend this to the absolute max. So that can be all of the copper supply. Now that's not gonna be as efficient as it possibly can, because obviously this guy will not be putting onto the belt all the time. However, I'm banking on the fact that that's going to be okay because the guys up at the end get the least amount of stuff. So that should work. That should work. In fact, if we wanted to do it properly, we should alternate between fast close inserter and fast long inserter. Right? So this needs to be a regular fast inserter. This needs to be a regular fast inserter. That needs to be a fast close inserter, and that needs to be a fast close inserter. And that means that by alternating it, we should have a much more even distribution on what's on the two sides of the belt. Fingers crossed anyway. This copper belt is now ready to go to join the main copper belt. The main copper belt is over there. I don't really know where we want to join it up. I need a butt ton more of fast underground belt to even think about joining up the copper supply route. But actually, this is a major step for us. This is a really, really major step in a major way. The way that we are progressing is very, very good. It's very, very important what we're doing right now. Iron supply is fine. Copper supply has been very, very ropey for quite a while right now. Yeah, as you can see, the train is working wonders up there. That's really, really good to see. Yeah, look, this belt is almost entirely saturated, which is absolutely wondrous. We can't really complain about that in any way. It's just the copper supply issues. Right, now where do we want to link up the copper supply issues? Where do we want to link up the copper supply to? I think here is probably a good option. Let's build a lot of underground belt. I think here is a great option. We can also, you know, eliminate the need for these things, because this is how we're getting literally the majority of our copper at the moment. And while we're fine for power, it could be better. We could be a lot better. But I am aware that will, I don't know, it won't make us weak by bussing in all of our copper from external sources. It just, I don't know, it's just a little bit dodgy. You know what I mean? Whatever. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. How are we doing for solar panel production? Of course, we won't have done any more in solar panel production because we haven't started making superconductors yet. But you know what? I'll eventually get down to that. I'm sure I will eventually. Alright, have we got some fast underground belt? Fast, long underground belt. We do indeed. In fact, you know what? We could get away by not using fast underground belt, by literally just using normal underground belt. Try that. Also, where the hell are my gears? Let me have 300 gears on me at all times. I expect more gears than that. I've got literally nothing at the moment. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Anyway, get rid of that. Put in some normal belt. And to be honest, we can just stick a normal piece of underground belt, a normal piece of fast underground belt, that is, up here. Yeah. There we go. That should mean we can save some underground belt, normal underground belt, and continue on with our lives in happy bliss of anything ever being wrong. I need gears. Yeah, give me gears. Give me these gears. I want these gears. I literally these gears that you're wanting to give me, I want them. Why do you not give them to me? Whatever, doesn't matter. Doesn't make a shred of difference to me. I'll eventually get around to getting some more gears anyway. Alright, now, where does our... Okay, so our copper is there. We need to get it all the way over there. That's actually not going to be too difficult. We're just going to need one belt across there. Probably two belts up there. So I would imagine very, very shortly we will have all of the ingredients that we require to make this great. Now, how far will this extend up? Up to there. Perfect. That works absolutely perfectly for me. These underground belts, they go quite far. They're pretty good. Alright. How far across do we want that? To about there, I think. Something like that. It's actually too far. That's actually way too far. Okay. That's doable. We can cut back on that. Okay. Is that about in line? We need to line this up pretty much perfectly. Alright, let me... Oh, there we go. Okay, you know what? Patience. Patience, young Padawan. Alright, I think that will be fine. And if we get that coming out there, then that should work. We're going to need some more underground belt. That's great. Up here. Perfect. Now will it work? Let's test it with normal underground belt. Is it the perfect lineup? It's not the perfect lineup. It's one off. Damn it. That's really annoying. That is annoying on so many levels. I was so careful. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. We'll change it. Alright, well at least we know now, eh? At least we know. Alright, this can now go to here. There we go. And we'll move this across by 1 because we want to minimize the stuff that we actually have on the surface. That is, that's my philosophy, so to speak. Okay. Up here. Up there. And then I suppose we can just use normal belt to connect it. Who really gives a damn anyway? Alright, there we go. And this will flow onto the side because, in all honesty, that copper is coming from these copper mines. And these copper mines, I don't want to say they're worse than useless because they're not. They are providing us a little bit of copper. But the amount of copper they're actually producing us is pretty bad. So I'm not too worried about just completely ignoring that. Mean, but true. Alright. Let us watch our copper problems literally resolve themselves. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. This is literally what we love to see. Literally what we love to see. Alright. At least we have sorted our copper problems. Our copper problems may be sorted. There's still a lot more to do. We still got a lot of this sorting system to iron out. We haven't even done the other side of the system yet. What the heck is that about, man? It's terrible. That's really bad. Do I have any more steel chests on me? Can I make some more? I can indeed make some more. Yeah. Hear me madly clicking in the background. That's perfect. I want 5 of these bad boys. And let's do alternating fast inserter. Okay. And now fast close inserters will be made soon after that. And then we'll just blueprint this entire block and move it over to this side. Great. Happy, happy days. And that should be it. That should mean that we can fully utilize all of this area, which is really, really nice. Should work perfectly. It should work absolutely perfectly. Alright. We've got a lot of blueprints on us, half of which are old and we don't actually need them. So I will need to remember to get rid of them. But alas, that is not for now. Not for now at all. Okay. We just want to copy literally this entire bit. Great. And duplicate it onto here. Perfect. That's great. 12 smart inserters are needed. I have 28 for you. I can give you 28. Okay. You're going to need some fast close inserters as well. I can make 6. I cannot make the rest. Let me just get some iron quickly. And then I can do that for you. Make another 5 more. What else do you need? You need 1 piece of underground belt. Of course you do. There you go. Have 1 piece of underground belt. That should be it. Perfect. Everybody's happy? Everybody should be happy. Maybe you... Yeah, no, that's great. That's all you need. Perfect. And then, once again, we just place a substation or 2. That there. More substations, please. I will take more substations any day of the week. I think they're really, really cool. I like substations. That goes there. Link you up to the main power grids in a very temporary fashion, but I think you get the picture. You start to see what's going on here. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the great thing about this belt is that it's not completely saturated yet, which is lovely. Because that means that we can actually utilize that to our advantage. How do we want to do this? I suppose up to there. Let's get rid of this. That up to there. This across here like so. Get rid of that. Didn't actually need it in the first place. We'll just use a normal electric pole. I had a mental vision of how I wanted this to turn out, and as always with mental visions, they never turn out quite as you'd expect it. Alright, that can go there. That can go there, and that can go there. Perfect. That should be just fine and dandy. Once that filters through, that should be a fully saturated belt of copper traveling all the way to the copper supply line. Now, bear in mind, even though this is a lot of copper, this may not be enough copper. This may not be enough. I mean, this sorting system may just be absolutely terrible. It may be too wimpy. It may not be good enough. But let's go and have a look at what's actually happening to our copper supply issues right now. Alright, still loving these tree farms. I love it how we can basically get an unlimited amount of free wood. It's fantastic. Alright, so here we can see copper coming in. That's a fair amount of copper. That's a lot of copper. And as you can see here, this consistent amount is when we've saturated the belt. Now, hopefully, the saturated belt will get far, far, far down the amount of furnaces, so that as many furnaces as possible are exposed to copper. Yeah, wow, this seems to be working just fine. I mean, almost every single furnace here is getting at least one bit of copper. Look at that. Look at that. Apart from the last two, everybody's getting copper. So that's really, really good. That's really, really good. Okay. Now we have got to deal with the other stuff. And by other stuff, I mean, how are we going to fix up this system so it isn't, I don't want to say incredibly broken, because it's not incredibly broken, but it's just a little bit, it's just not good enough, you know what I mean? I actually think that fast close inserters might be worth a look. I think fast close inserters are exactly what we need right now. We need some more iron. Well, we happen to be very, very close to the iron processing area, so let's just jump over and get some iron. Let's take a little trip down here and see how far the copper is going. The copper is certainly going a little bit further right now because we've just got more. We're just brute forcing the amount of copper that we've got upon the world. We're just saying, here, have a lot of copper. The more copper we put in, the better. But unless we're smart about it, then I don't think it's going to work very well. Alright, so let's alternate fast close insertering. Right, that wasn't a very good alternation. Didn't really seem to work that well. But it should be working a little bit better now. Okay, this is looking already like a more saturated belt. This is good. This is really good. Fast inserter, fast inserter. Take that from there and put it in there. See if that makes a difference. Okay, you know what? This is an almost perfectly saturated belt, although there's just still issues. Still issues. Which is not good. I mean, we've got some basic close inserters on this side. But I suppose it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Alright, let's see how far this copper is going. It's clear to me that we just don't have enough copper coming in. We just need to process more. We're going to need to build a new copper processing area, and that we will do. However, if we take a look down here, it looks like the number of basic circuits that are actually coming through is a lot more healthy. Yeah. So before, the basic circuits only got as far as the first machine. Now they're getting to the first, second, and possibly third eventually. So that's really good to see that we've actually made some progress, although it might not be as much as I would have liked. It's clear to me that we are going to have to upgrade upgrade our copper processing area, because we've got a lot of copper coming in, but not enough being processed. Also, I'm not entirely sure if we are transporting enough copper on these belts, because we've got a whole lot of copper down here, but as you can see, not much is really being done with it. I mean, we're taking it, although I say that, we're taking it off, and it's going at a fairly decent pace, actually. This is not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. What I'll actually do is I'll actually take this belt across there, join these two up. Okay. And do it like this. Now, there is a reason I'm doing this, and it's so that we can fully utilize all of the resources that we've got going on here. So this will come down here, and that will go in there like that. Now, the reason I did that is because this area, being the second half of the copper, is technically going to get less copper, so I'm okay with giving it more load from the extra runoff, so to speak. Also, we're going to have to bear in mind that temporarily we're going to have a break in that there. This is going to come up around here. We're going to take this across here. Not like that. Long underground belt, please. I suppose we can just do it with normal, basic underground belt. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. This is a very temporary measure. Just an FYI for you there. And this can come down here onto that side of the belt. So we should be utilizing all of the resources 100% of the time. It shouldn't be a problem. This is our copper processing area. This is our iron processing area. That's only 2 ores. So in all honesty, we should probably remove stone from this this ore list, because we've only got capacity for copper and iron. So it's good. It's really, really good. What's also really good is that we've fit it all within the constraints of where we should. So when we get to do tin processing, this is all going to fit in quite nicely as well. So I'm really, really happy with that. Really, really happy how it's worked out. Let's actually go and get 1 load of copper just to see. Thank you. I will take those materials. Let's actually go and take 1 thing of copper. Okay, run the train. Go to station. Happy days. Let's go and get 1 load of copper to see how it handles it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. However, I don't think that our transportation of copper from the processing, from the sorting area to the processing area is going to be enough. I just don't think we're going to have enough. Alright. Fill me up. Also, stop the train. Please don't go away without me. I want to replace these chests with proper steel chests so that we can continually back up way more copper than we currently are. There we go. Perfect. I will hop in. I will run the train. And things will be great. I really don't want tin ore. I'm not going to lie. I don't want tin ore. But you know what? I actually do want tin ore, because that means that we can stress test the entire process, which is kind of nice. Alright. Got a lot of copper coming in. That's what we like to see. A lot of everything coming in, to be honest, actually. Fingers crossed we will... How long do we stay at the copper mine? 30 seconds. Okay, great. That's us off. And we've got a fair amount of materials in our train. Only a little bit of copper, but that's alright. We'll see how it works. We'll see if we can actually get it to work. So hopefully we will pull up to this bay up here. Immediately the dudes will start unloading. Let's stop the train as well. Why not? Yep. Alright, so these guys will start unloading. Things will come along down here. The guys over here, I say guys, I mean the smart inserters over here will start grabbing all of the copper. Fingers crossed we've got enough smart inserters on it. If we don't have enough smart inserters on it, then I guess we should probably start beelining for Very, very fast smart inserter. Very fast smart inserter. It's going to be difficult to actually make, but it might be worth our while. Oh well. It's something to consider in the future anyway. I actually want to see if anything does get past this, and if it comes round here, and if that still works. I mean, it's going to gunk up things a little bit, but I'm not too concerned by that at the moment. So far, it looks like it's working just as intended. I mean, any of the copper that gets past here will go round, and we will complete that and whatnot, and that's great. By the way, we're going to be doing the same for iron, so that's going to be run into another underground belt and run up to the iron area. I don't really know if there's a need for... Perhaps we should give this a little balance here. I mean, I don't know why it's not working as intended, because it should be. Yeah. Perhaps it needs a little bit of a balance, but in any case, the fact that we're getting an almost fully saturated belt tells me that there's no need for at this moment in time anyway, tells me that there's no need for a second belt of copper running up to the copper processing area. Now, without a second belt of copper, that potentially means that we may not have enough copper to satisfy the entire factory, but until we get more copper consistently coming in, then I guess we're just going to have to make do with that. And at the moment, I'm really, really happy with the process that we actually created. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this episode has gone way over time, so I suppose you've got an extra little bonus today. My name, of course, has been Open Potato. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.